Hello guys, welcome back to Allwood Talkies. This is Lex, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do consider subscribing and press the bell button for notifications. Today we are going to see We Have a Ghost. When the Presley family encounters a friendly ghost at their new house, their lives completely change. The movie begins with the Presley family moving into a house that was abandoned a year ago by a family. Even though the realtor did not mention the house being haunted, the house gave off a spooky vibe. Kevin, the youngest Presley, was mostly distant from his family. He decided to explore the house on his own. Before entering the house, he sees someone in the attic, and just like in every other horror film, Kevin too decides to walk into the attic. While there was no one there, he could not dismiss the fact that he had seen someone up there. Even though the house was not what they wanted it to be, the Presleys were on a budget, and this was the best they could get. Frank wanted his boys to cheer up while they settled into the new house, but it was not easy for Kevin. This was not the first time that they shifted to another place, and Kevin seemed to be wanting some sort of certainty in his life. He did not have confidence in his father, who had been involved in several unsuccessful businesses, including a pyramid scheme that completely flopped. Kevin used to idealize his father when he was a little boy, but as he grew up, he realized how far his father was from the hero he imagined him to be. Frank was aware of what his little boy thought about him, and it was not easy for him as a father to make peace with it. At night, Kevin heard someone walk into the attic, so he decided to check it. As he searched for the entity in the attic with his phone torch, he came across a ghost who tried really hard to scare him. But his booze only made Kevin laugh. Kevin was not scared of the man standing in front of him. He was just a man who was a little transparent. The next morning, Kevin decided to have a chat with him to learn about his past. But unfortunately, the man did not remember anything about his past life. Kevin noticed the name embossed on his bowling shirt. It read Ernest, and that is what he started calling his new ghost friend. Kevin enjoyed the fact that he had a sweet little secret. He was all the more happy when his ghost friend helped him fight his brother. But his happiness soon disrupted when Fulton got hold of his phone and found the video Kevin had recorded the previous night. The video showed Ernest's futile attempts to scare Kevin. Fulton called Frank, and Kevin's secret was no longer a secret in the family. Frank even uploaded the video on YouTube, hoping to earn money and get popular as well. While his video was getting a fair share of views, many doubted if it was even real. Frank needed to prove to the audience that the ghost was real so that they could trust him. He went to the attic and tried reaching out to Ernest, but the ghost was nowhere to be found. Kevin sang for him, and that was when Ernest appeared. The video of Melanie walking right through Ernest and then screaming after seeing him got instant traction on the internet. He got large fan base waiting outside Frank's residence. Frank also arranged talk show in a leading television to earn money using Ernest. Kevin trained Ernest to scare people. He showed Hollywood horror movies and asked Ernest to scare the television people. Frank calls the spirit, and Ernest didn't come to the show. The anchor stated that they are fooling us using hologram. The Kevin gave secret directions to scare the television crew. Ernest literally scared the shit out of them. Even this video footage they uploaded in YouTube and become a terrific hit. While Frank and Fulton were celebrating their internet success, Kevin wanted to find a way to help Ernest. As a ghost, Ernest was unable to speak, and he did not remember anything from the past. Kevin believed that his loss of memory was caused by some sort of trauma. He needed to find out what had happened to Ernest that caused his death in order to assist him in crossing over to the other side. Joy Yoshino, his neighbor and friend from school, was a talented hacker and helped Kevin find out details about Ernest on the internet. They discovered that his name was Ernest Skeller and that he purchased the house on April 5, 1965, and sold it on December 15, 1971. But strangely enough, they could not find his death certificate. While Kevin was busy finding out about Ernest's past, the videos on the internet caught the attention of an ex-CIA agent who had dedicated her life to finding ghosts. Dr. Leslie Monroe used to be a CIA agent who was responsible for heading a project titled Wizard Clip, which also required them to find and arrest ghosts. The project was shut down when the common people protested against their money being used for projects that did not have much importance in everyday life. But after Ernest's video got popular, the CIA decided to restart the project and find the ghost with Monroe's help. Joy had managed to find Ernest Scheller's license, and it proved that the Ernest they knew was not the Ernest who bought the house. Therefore, the ghost was surely someone whose name was not Ernest, but who was he? They decided to contact Ernest Skeller because he used to own the house, and they hoped to find him in the dive bar he used to own. Taking the ghost with them was no easy task. As a result of the videos, Ernest had a huge fan following that waited to catch a glimpse of him outside his house. After overcoming several obstacles, they managed to reach the bar. At the bar, they found a picture of Ernest Skeller with their ghost friend, further confirming that Ernest would be able to help them understand what happened to their ghost friend. So they decided to travel to Oklahoma, and that was when the CIA entered the house in the middle of the night to catch the ghost, but to their surprise, Kevin and Ernest were missing from the house. After fighting the police and overcoming car accidents, Joy, Kevin, and their ghost friend reached the house of Ernest Skeller. The man lived with his wife, who was paralyzed. He recognized Kevin since he had been following the ghost news. He mentioned that the ghost they thought was Ernest was actually Randy McGovern. He was the husband of Mrs. Scheller's sister. Randy's wife died while giving birth to their baby, June. Randy had given up on life after his wife's death and struggled with his daughter. One day, he left June with the Schellers and carried Ernest's license and bowling shirt before committing suicide. Ernest believed he did it to hide his identity. When Randy heard the truth, he was quite shaken and dropped an eagle showpiece from the cupboard. While everyone in the room was trying to process the information, the CIA agents entered the house and captured Randy using special technology. It was heartbreaking for Kevin and Randy. They wanted to know the past but did not realize it could be so dark and hurtful. Dr. Leslie Monroe was overjoyed when she saw Randy inside the specially designed cell for spirits. Tears rolled down her cheeks when she saw Randy standing right in front of her eyes. Randy reached out to wipe her tears. While Monroe had been obsessed with proving the existence of paranormal entities, she did not realize the emotions that these entities were able to feel. When she saw how Randy reacted to her emotional outburst, she felt sympathetic toward him. She asked her senior what they intended to do with him, and she was told that they were planning to conduct a wide range of experiments, and it would be all the easier because he was dead. Monroe was aware of how cruel such experiments usually get, so she decided to set Randy free. She attacked the cell's security and helped Randy escape. When Randy was locked in the cell, he remembered his past when he noticed the eagle symbol on one of the security guard's shirts. He realized that it was Ernest who had killed him using the eagle showpiece at his house and dressed him in his bowling shirt before hiding his body in the backyard. Meanwhile, Ernest went back to the house at night. He had a gun with him and got a hold of Kevin. He was afraid that Randy had told him about the past and that he would be punished for murdering Randy now that the truth was out. He explained that as a couple, they were unable to have a child, and when Randy's wife died, they decided to kill Randy and take custody of June. Frank and Fulton found Ernest holding Kevin at gunpoint. They managed to set Kevin free, but Ernest injured Frank and Fulton in the process. Kevin hid in the attic and attacked Ernest from behind, but Ernest overpowered him. Just as he was about to attack Kevin, Randy got hold of him and punched him in the face. Kevin was glad to see Randy again, and he did not notice Ernest pointing the gun at him from behind. Frank entered the attic at the right time and pushed Ernest out of the attic window. While Kevin had lost his respect for his father, it was at this moment that he realized that his father was still his hero, and he would risk his life to protect him at any cost. The Presleys were glad that they were able to fight the worst together as a family. The CIA later questioned Kevin about Randy. He stated that Randy crossed over to the other side after he brought justice. The deputy director did not believe him, but he had no other option but to let go of the case. We later learned that Kevin and Frank found June and united her with her father. It was through meeting June that Randy was finally able to leave the world behind. His body slowly faded into sparkles, and he was glad to have found Kevin, without whom he would not have managed to right the past wrong. The Presleys packed their belongings as they prepared to shift to another house 5 miles away. Kevin and Joy shared a little romantic moment before he left the house. Kevin wondered if Randy was still watching, and the blinking bulb confirmed that wherever Randy was, he still cared about Kevin and was perhaps watching him with a smile on his face. That's all, guys. Thanks for watching Allwood Talkies. Support us by subscribing to our channel and give thumbs up. Catch you on the next video. Bye, guys.